Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. We will set today's scene on the training grounds up in the northern woods, where racks of practice weapons have been made available to the Cubs or, well, anyone else in the Sept who feels the urge to make use of them. In this particular case, Maebh is out well after morning training, after tending the shrines, after doing her duties for the day, and has returned, taken her Glabro form, and has taken up one of the practice spears. I mean, these are nothing serious. They're wooden weapons, but it's definitely enough for her to stab the shit out of one of the dummies. But honestly, most of what she's been up to is whirling the thing around, getting the balance for it, trying to find the weight. This isn't a stave. It's kind of imbalanced because of the heavier head on one side. So it's nothing well trained. It's nothing graceful, but at least she's trying.
The Maebh would know that while she's going to do morning training, there's a usual the guardian shift and the training, and all of those different trainings that Travis do are it's obvious. Like we probably would know each other's, what we do in the set because we always see each other.
There's a lot of passing, yeah.
Yeah. For after what Talia died, after that mission that really turned out badly, you see everybody would see Travis is running every day 4 or 5 times, and he's not it seems that he is trying to push his limits more and more, and it's really weird because Travis is the kind of guy who laughs and does stuff. He even trains when he trains he laughs. He doesn't push himself that much. He thinks that training should be funny, but nobody sees funny look on his face. It's gone. Maebh will see he runs, and then he takes the looks at the watch that he has, and he just says still not there. He stops the watch and just smells of Fianna goddamn Fianna Pure 5. He's just hello.
And maybe we'll probably just plant the butt of the spear in the dirt and, pause for a second, loft our hand, wave at him.
You see he's breathing and how are you?
I'm all right, I guess.
He slowly goes near her, still holding her heart. And then he becomes normal again because Gara. And even Maebh can understand the differences in Travis's face. She might heard rumors about how he was different, or she might have seen because she has a goddamn huge perception empathy score. Dice for excellent score. Yeah. So you can see he is troubled. It's obvious. He doesn't hide anything. He is not good at hiding stuff. He is when he wants to, but not right now. But he checks the he checks the spear and looks at you.
And she'll offer it over if he's taking interest. In her mind, the best way to keep him from thinking about whatever's bothering him is to keep him distracted. So she'll offer the spear over and kind of shrug helplessly because she's kind of hopeless at the moment. She doesn't have a melee score, so it's going a little tragically, but God help her, she's trying.
You see that Travis takes the spear and he smiles. When I actually started learning melee, they always told me yeah, you should learn spear. I actually never learned how to, I know how to use them, I think, but I wasn't.
Melee is not weapon specific, so if you know melee, you know melee. You may be specialized in something, but
he is. But you see, the way that he checks the spear, you can see that there's this distance with him. Can you roll me intelligence academics?
Oh.
Maybe she will have an idea?
Academics I don't have, so I'm not even sure I can roll it.
Oh, okay. The so after some time, you see Travis gives the spear back and says, "Well, I think I told you that I'm born in Greece. The our history that you would know that Greek people you tend to use spears.
Mm-hmm.
I like spears, but I like small blades better. The when the Spartans lost their when they lost their spears, they usually fight with this little blades. He actually pulls one out of his pocket. It's a small, really small knife. It's probably bigger than this one. He says with shows with his hands, but it's for fighting with someone, and he comes close, not her, I'm not gonna say her personal space. It's actually her personal space, but he doesn't look creepy. He doesn't.
Oh
touch
yeah, no,
her.
she's not. She's not being weird.
He just
She gets what
comes.
he's on about.
He comes near her and says this is kind of easy to fight with when people have spears or swords or axes because it's more useful. It's more easy to use, and he goes back.
And she'll kind of shrug and kind of she'll have the little spear. Well, not little, but she'll have the spear once it's handed back to her, and kind of glance at it and just say simply, I don't feel like I'm the kind of person that really needs to be up there in the blood spray with you. So at least for me, I feel like this is a better idea. But I can see why you'd want a shorter weapon,
I
a
totally
more
agree.
personal weapon.
It's good that you learn how to use with spear, but I will also recommend you having a shield with it, so you can defend yourself with it.
I shall kind of blink for a second. I guess it makes sense. You can use a spear one-handed. I'd been kind of trying to practice it like Lucas does with the stave, but it makes more sense, I guess, to use a shield than to try to block with the spear. And she'll kind of turn around and look towards the practice rack, towards the very simple dinged out shield shapes there.
If you have a big one, it would stop your movement. It will be up to you. But if you have a small one, it also will block the. It will block, and it will give you. You will have your movement with you, which would not be with you when you have a bigger shield. But it's up to how would you want to fight?
And she'll grin a bit and meander towards the rack and probably select something that maybe a little large for a Hamid, but at least on a Glabro arm. It's not small, but it's definitely not a large shield. It's something that she can strap on and instead of having to take hold, can kind of hold and still use her other hand. Something more like a buckler.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be like, movement's kind of the only thing I got going for me, so.
Also,
better with the javelins.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to say. You can use throw weapons. Callie, used to go around with spears. Pardon, bows. He shakes his head. We always had this discussion of the Ahron should not use a bow. But you're a tier, you should totally use bows.
I've thought about it. But at least for the moment, a javelin will give me a ranged weapon, and I can focus on the spear. I have thought about doing the bow, though. I miss Callie.
You can understand he misses her too. So let me think. There is a gift, the Hamid gift, called Abe's Craft's Blessing. You know about it?
I think I've heard about it, but I don't see how it applies to combat.
Well, sometimes you need to. Sometimes, like, all you need is just to hit the enemy, or in a way to hit the enemy in a way that it will make others easy to end that enemy or accomplish whatever you need to accomplish. The I don't have that gift. I am not good at. I am not good at what the gift needs. I just can't do it that well. But that gift is allowing you to use weapons, anything that you use, more easily.
I guess they would count as man-made, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's not a bad idea.
He shrugs. As Fianna, you see, he thinks that the Fianna gifts, which Amachan is checking at the computer. I heard about a story once where the Fiannas jump and then they throw the spears and then they land. So the spear goes more faster than it would normally would.
Yeah?
Like, you probably would learn that. It's a Lupus and Fianna gift. Like, here was lead. You like, remember the time we jumped from the Fianna castle? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that thing.
Never thought of using it to throw a spear further, or a javelin. Was kind of fun, though.
Let me think a little bit more. And when you become, Foster, which I think you will, after 2 months, you become a. After 2 months, you become a Cleath. He smiles. I actually wonder when your rite of passage is going to be.
I don't know. I've asked for it a while ago. I talked to Chase's some, and I kind of worry. And she'll pause for a second and look kind of thoughtful, and she's just kind of standing there. It's kind of picturesque, because with Fair Glabro, she just looks like some fucking huge warrior maiden. But standing there with the practice shield and the practice spear, she'll ponder for a second and then kind of knit her brow and look over at him. You don't need a peony. It's obvious that she's kind of concerned. Do you think I'm a bad Fianna?
No.
I'm not loud. I don't drink. Well, not often. After we went overseas for Cinna's Right, I kind of started to think about it. And Chase's... He's sure I'll make Cleath, but I start to wonder if I'm going to be able to be Fianna. I feel like it's something you can only try once. What happens if I fail?
I don't think that you'll fail. Well, because of your blood and heritage, there will be high expectations from you. That's not a lie. I'm sorry. And that's not something that I would put anybody, but the world is not created by me. I'm kind of helpless there. But tell me what happened in the Fianna Steps. And let me tell you, I will be honest with you, okay? I don't think even if I lied, you would understand. So go on, tell me what happened.
She'll nod a bit and kind of rest the spear back on the rack. Go ahead and shrug off the buckler and set it there as well, and just kind of lean onto the end of the rack where none of the weapons are. Well, the part that I think went the worst, I understood that things were different there. I almost talked us out of a fight, but Cinna couldn't help herself, brought the Guardians back over to us. I don't know much about Silverfangs, but whatever she said, it drove the one Silverfang Guardian to a frenzy. And afterwards, the Fianna Guardian, she said that the Master of Challenges would hear about this, or the Alpha would hear about this. I don't remember which. And I'd held my temper so long that when she said that, I finally looked at her and said, "What? Well, what are you going to tell him? That you nearly killed 3 cubs?" And she challenged me, which I understand. That's how we function. That's how we prove that we are right. And I would have taken it. But Cinna stepped up and said that for this, she was my alpha and that she would do it for me, that I shouldn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, whatever works. But the Fianna was very against it and said that she would only allow it if I rolled over, and basically said that I couldn't take care of my own business. And I thought she meant to roll over to Cinna. And I asked Cinna, please don't. My bloodline is being mentioned. This is obviously something that I need to do. But she told me to roll over. So I did. And she took the challenge for me. And she won. But after that, I wasn't allowed to go any further than the bond. They wouldn't even let me into the cairn. Not unless Cinna was there. I went back later. I challenged her for my right to enter. I lost, but it was something. She seemed to approve a little bit more. But it went very badly that they wouldn't let me in. And I get the feeling that they passed word along to my uncle that I had done something very wrong.
Travis listens for the whole time, so we are a bunch of guys who talks loudly sometimes, and like I scream sometimes. I know with my talking, sometimes I talk a lot. I'm not that social. I can't lie that well. I can't, I wasn't able to do good speeches. It gets better every time. I'm not that intimidative. I'm just good at fighting. But as a normal human, let's just say that you were a normal human, right? Somebody wants to fight with you and say like, why we fight? Because that's what makes sense. Because people should not fight that much. Because talking is actually another way to solve problems.
Well, I mean, and beyond that, the doves that I go to every week that allow me to make them into Gaia's breaths, the agreement between me and them is that so long as they are allowing me to make those talons, I try to find another solution before I turn to violence. So, I mean, it's not a ban. It's not impossible. They understand that combat must happen. Sometimes violence must happen, but it should not be the first thing I turn to.
He knows. I'm gonna be honest with you, and you talk about Fianna, and I shouldn't be the guy who you should listen. Like, yeah, I'm a Fianna, yeah, I'm an Astro, yeah, all of that jazz, but I disagree with a lot of things. For example, people hate Metis and Fianna. I love Ren. I really like Nicholas. He's a really nice guy, but like he was unable to control his rage. We all understand that. What I mean is, it's not Metis' fault that his mother and father just did something naughty one night, or if they fall in love. Yeah, that's their abominations. That's what they say. I don't think Ren is an abomination. But
I don't think that this child should be punished for the sins of their parents.
I agree. Well, they say that me being raised by a silent strider and get influences me. No, me being just a Travis actually makes me think that way.
I had too many times explained that we are raised in a sept of bone gnars, and they took it as excuse enough to blame them instead of us. They did not
Because
like that I was not more of a warrior. I told them that I was being raised by an Ectena alongside of Child of Gaia. They took that as an excuse, but they expect more. And I don't want to disappoint. If I am this closely related to the Ardrai, if it's such a big deal, I don't want to disappoint my family. I don't want to disappoint my people.
well, don't you? I know you try your best. I know you. How do I say this? I know you like. I didn't see you run away from a combat.
I don't. I may not rush in, but
yeah.
That is why I carry Gaia's breaths. That is why, if necessary, I am the line of defense between the kin and the enemy. But my place is not elbow deep in the enemy. My place as a mystic, as a druid, is to be the healer. It's to be the support.
Well, I agree. Everybody should have things to do in the war, in the fight. Like if I have you in a place, I would put you in the middle where you would be able to heal all of us in the pack, or I would make you attack in a place where you won't get attacks, or I would make you attack from our back or rear. So, they say about we don't think before we fight. Well, I do. I try my best to create tactics. Well, it didn't turn out last time. It didn't turn out that well, but the other times was really pretty good. They say we always drink. No, you don't have to drink. If you don't want to drink, just don't drink. That doesn't make you a bad Fianna. Do you know what makes you a bad Fianna?
What?
If you don't try to prove your point with the passion you have inside of you, you don't have to fight. You can be a passionate. Just let me tell you something. What happens if they beat you?
If they what?
What happens if they beat you? Are they going to, like, let's just say, remember I told you to shut up and you didn't? Like, because you thought you were right. If you just shut up at that time, it would make you a bad Fianna because you thought you were right. I'm not saying you were right at that time. I'm saying sometimes when we think we're right, we go for it. Like we don't accept shit from nobody. There was one time where everybody was talking shit about me and I was like, yeah, whatever. I know what I am. And if people start pissing me off about the things that I do, I would be like, yeah, whatever, I did what I did. You have a problem? Go fucking challenge me. And see what happens. And it's the same case for you, and you can choose your challenges. Like, there are challenges for the mental people, like where you might be not the best fighter in the world, but you can study hard in something and you can ask questions, you can ask riddles. Yeah, a lot of Garu will be like, yeah, this is a pussy ass bitch challenge, but you won the challenge.
Isn't that the point of being able to choose the challenge? Is to play to your own strengths?
Yeah. Maebh, I'm really sorry. You shouldn't have heard this from me, but being a good tribe member sometimes makes you a really weird person in my eyes. Let's just say, again, offenders. They usually handle their problems with violence. Yes, I am a capable man. I am a man of capable and committing violence, but I don't go for the first solution, violence, but gets do. Being a good get means that you fight every time you see a challenge. That's what they respect. They respect strength and durability. Child of Gaia respects peace. They don't like the people who commits violence, or they say they don't like the people who commits violence. The Black Furies respect the motherhood and stuff like that. But if you were a Black Fury that spends a lot of time around a lot of another friend Black Furies and say, well, I think that we are treating men bad, they will just not like you and they will call you bad Black Fury. Just because they called you bad Fianna or they made you think a bad Fianna, you're not a bad Fianna. Just because you don't like people treating bad medicines, it doesn't make you a bad Fianna. It makes you a really good person. He smiles to her.
And she grins back a bit. Talia told me many, many times it was more important to be respected than liked. But there are precious few people that I can respect that I don't like.
Example?
Well, I mean, let's go back to when I first got here. And we were kind of at odds over Lucas.
Ah. You know.
At the time, I didn't necessarily like or respect you because I don't feel like I can respect someone that I don't agree with. Not when it's something that important. I've learned better since then. I respect you now. Heck, I might even like you a little bit, but I don't know. I know that Chase has said that the thing that I had to correct was that Lucas and I have always been together ever since I came here, to the point that I'm being seen as his shadow. And no Fianna should be standing in someone else's shadow. So, I'm doing better. I'm taking more initiative. I'm learning more things.
Like, I know that Lucas done things without you. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I never see you doing stuff without Lucas. Like, when I say stuff, let's just say we went on mission, right? Lucas was there as well. I think that's the reason. I'm not telling you that you're someone's shadow. I don't know. I don't spend time. Like, we spend time, but I don't. Like, we are not always around. I don't go to cub cabins all the time. Like, I think you should. Like, everybody would love company, right? For example, when I do something, I usually do it with Kachina. When I go to talk with spirits, I usually go with Kachina. Like, I know that Lucas is a child of Gaia. I don't see him around that much, but like, probably you being close with the spirits of the unicorn is because of him, because he's a child of Gaia, and unicorn is something that would match with your personality.
Well, the doves are also one of the first spirits that I came to spend time with. So it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wrong of me, I guess, but I think every little girl has wanted to see a unicorn at some point. So I feel a bit badly that I've spent more time trying to have a chance to see unicorn than I have in studying my own totem. I know some myths and legends about the stags and what they represent, but not as much as I've read about unicorns in my books. And I don't want to do my family a disservice. Lucas will be packed to me. It's not that I will have to be distance from him, but I don't know.
Every Garu is a warrior. Every Fianna cares about being warrior. They say anybody we should trust like any Fianna warrior. Like, we prize being warriors. I also prize being a warrior. I think everybody should be able to hold his ground as a Garu, because the threat we face is really big. And when I look at your hands, and when I look at your muscles, I don't see a lot of muscle. So I would recommend, at least when they look at you physically, they don't see weakness. Because if I have to be honest, when I look at you, I see a really team person. Your hands, like, try to do push-ups and stuff like that, gain more strength. It won't make you in the other people's eyes that you are not, like, then they will look at you, they will see a normal people and not a weak person. You don't have to be powerful to show yourself a powerful. There was a guy whose name he was a there was a woman. She was a child of Gaia. A lot of people would remember her really good, but she was always there, and she always showed herself that she can kick everybody's ass. And she didn't run away from a fight. She, like, her deed name was Bites the Growing. So, again, I would start with gaining more strength, learning some, as you're trying to learn. Like, when I look around, I see you training. So, it's not like you're not trying, or it's not like you're just saying, "Yeah, I'm not gonna fight. I'm just gonna talk. Just gonna talk." No, like I see you defend other people. You were in a fight. You try to heal people, and you don't need to be a good Fianna to be a Fianna. You need what the chases is right, but you also need to. How do I say this? Create your own path. Don't be like everybody says Fianna should drink. No, they don't have to drink, but I think Fianna should be able to defend his opinion with a passion. Everybody says Fianna, Fianna like fights better when they drunk. Well, no, no, thank you. Or everybody says that Fianna has to be loud. No, don't be loud, but be social, as you are a social person. He
I mean,
puts a hand. Go on.
she kind of smirks Riley and says, it's people keep saying that they haven't seen me do enough. And yet here I am, still under Winter's ban, having done something far beyond what I should have stretched for as a cub to aid the people who are more powerful than me, because I know where my place is when it comes to a fight. I lend my aid where I can, but I don't necessarily belong on the front lines. They say that I'm cowardly because I don't leap to the front. But when the only place that I can be of help is at the front, I'm there. It's frustrating to have people not believe that I will do what is necessary when it is necessary. And when it is not, there's no point to me going and bathing in the blood of an enemy when I am better spent running to those who are falling and picking them back up again.
He agrees. He nods. Like when I first was a cub in a clan, I always had a healer behind me. A child of Gaia, the same person that I said. Her duty was to heal me because I was always on the front. Like literally, her duty was to heal me. Like, if I was an elf, I would put you in a healing space. I'm telling you, I would put you in a healing position. So, do what you're doing, and show yourself. And people will always talk shit. There's no ending of talking shit. You would heard about me, people talking shit. I'm sure about that. And don't even try to lie about this. Like, even if you persuade me, I will, after like 5 minutes, I will just say she lied pretty damn well. So, just I'm gonna say this last time, be what you want to be. And I think you would be a good Fianna. Show people that you're not the Lucas's shadow. Because Lucas is a Ragabash and you are Tirge. I don't think that he would be able to speak with the spirits with you as much as you would do.
Sorry, I have my roommate up here. 1 second.
No problem.
Okay, sorry, what was the last prompt? My bad.
Okay, no problem. If you want, I can repeat. He basically said that like you're a Tirge, he's a Ragabash. If people tells you that you're his shadow, well, don't like. Even if you have a slightest chance that they might be right, change something, continue what you're doing, and I think you will be a good Fianna. That's what he said.
Aha. And she nods a bit. It's funny. Ren is very adamant that we should seek pacts as soon as we can, but she was also adamant that we should take separate pacts. And I had to look her in the eyes and point blank say, that's never going to happen. I still have to talk to Katori to see if he will let us have Chino. because I know that if he calls, Chino will go to him, but I think we're the strong beginnings of a pack. And I don't care what people think about me spending so much time with Lucas. I don't care what they assume. It doesn't matter.
Travis puts a hand on her shoulder and says, I don't want this to happen, but I need you to understand that people might die anytime, and you should be able to stand on your own. As long as you know this fact, all is good. You know, like Chase has said that I might go or I might die soon. It's the same for me. I could have died in that fight, except Talia. It could have been Chino, it could have been Kotori or Cinna. Talia, I hope Talia is in a better place right now. And
Maeve gets kind of a grave look at that point.
Mhm.
Kind of abruptly, actually.
I hope she's in a better place right now. The thing is, I think that people, like, I see you right now. I thought that you would be really sad and unable to do anything. And I'm wrong. You already made me, think that, oh, she's not that, she's not like that, or what I think.
Talia would never have approved if I just wallowed in self-pity.
Yeah. Do what you're doing. You're doing good. You don't have any, you won't have any problem with those people, the Tiana, with telling bullshit, because everybody knows that I'm not a Tiana from the home country, from the motherland.
Hey, Travis. I talked to Miss Whisper about Talia.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that at least when we pass, at least when it's sudden like that, I wish I had done it for Callie, that we could call forth their ancestor spirit and have one last talk, have a chance for people to get the closure they need. But she told me that when you die in a thrall, you don't go to the homelands. She said that I should talk to the Striders if I wanted to know more about it. I asked, was there any way that we could recover her and bring her spirit back to where it belongs? She doesn't seem to think so. But your pack probably knows more about that than I do. Do you think you could help me find out if there's any chance? I know I can't do it soon. I know I'm still young. I know I'm not even an adult yet, but I want to.
I will send a letter to my old alpha. And you know what's happening with the Cinna and her lineage, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Mm-hmm. You know that when I become an Astro, I did something really good at the Silent Strider set.
Mm-hmm.
The only Silent Strider set. I might think about calling them in an aid. I told them that they owe me nothing, because I don't want people to owe me things. I can owe them, but I don't want people to owe me things. That's what makes me a terrible politician, by the way. But I can ask them to come here to help us, and if they come, we can ask those questions. Even if
just to teach us. If there's any way to recover her spirit, to purify it so that she can go to the homelands, I will feel like I've done right by her.
And if, summoned by the word spirits and ancestors, Kachina walks into the training grounds. He's a little stiff, it seems, if anyone is paying particular attention.
I'm always paying attention. And Maeve has leaned herself up against the end of one of the practice weapon racks and is still hanging out in Glabro because fuck it, she can. And they're just there having a conversation, though. She'll look aside as Kachina comes in and bob her head respectfully.
He nods to both of you and kind of tilts his head a tiny bit to the Raya. Travis.
Travis just fist bumps with him.
He winces, but he does it. Urgh.
What's up, man?
Look at that little sword, Kachina. You okay?
Kachina did Secret Wendigo right. Paying for it now.
Okay.
It goes to a little wooden dummy and sticks little clubs in holes and clicks them into place. And takes off his jacket. And he's got like bandages over his chest, around his abdomen.
You're still walking with pain?
Yes, they are healing okay, but Kachina is still in pain, but it is acceptable.
You gotta find him to get the pain gone, right? Or do I remember correctly?
Oh, you mean this? He like motions to like a big cut that's not even like bandaged up on his chest.
Oh yeah.
This one will not go away until I do a specific thing. This other, he points at the bandages, was from the right. It will heal on its own eventually.
Okay. Well, so why are you here, dude?
I thought I would practice some fighting with this wood dummy. And he motions to the dummy with the several arms on it now.
Oh, okay. I can help you.
That would be most appreciated, Travis. I am not so good at it.
You're good at, still standing.
Yes. He kind of nods.
Well, lucky you, Maebh is also learning how to use a spear. She just said, "Hey, garbage."
No, she said I dropped it.
Okay. You're lucky. Maebh is also learning, how to use a spear.
Maybe we'll bob our head a little bit. So what about you, Kachina? Have you ever heard of recovering a spirit that has been tainted or gone to the wrong place and bringing it back to the homelands?
Yes. It is not a thing easily done, and it was by chance.
She brightens up considerably regardless.
We managed to ease a tainted spirit that was trapped on the mountain of tainted souls. It was a glasswalker.
That's true.
When did you do that?
There's also the Shadow Lord that we met in Glacier.
Yes, the Shadow Lord in Glacier.
Oh, okay.
So it is a thing that can be done, but the spirits both had much time to contemplate things and had met the right people to allow it to be done.
And if Talia died in a thrall, what do you think it would take for her to be able to return, to go to the homelands, to go where she belongs?
Really big image, maybe?
Well, in so much as that they are a spirit, but acceptance for what happened to quell their anger, and depending on where she is, because Glacier is not the only place that sort of thing goes on, will depend on what is required. Until I knew a lot more, I would not be able to even speculate.
That is why Miss Whisper told me to speak to the Striders. She said they would know more.
They are close with their secrets. Even when Aaron was our alpha, he would begrudgingly only tell me very little things about the Striders.
It's not that I want to know about the Striders themselves. I just want to know where to look. If he doesn't want to explain why, so be it. But perhaps, even if it has to be done in several stages, perhaps even if we just have to go the once to speak to her, to set her on the right path, to redeem herself, then it is still worth it.
If their spirit is found in the Shadowlands, that place that we went to once or twice, that a special ritual was done so that he could go there. I personally do not know the ways for dealing with that and bringing them back, but people are traded as commodities there, so I hear.
She knits her brow a little bit in confusion.
It is a special umbral realm.
If you say so. Katori has mentioned some of them to me in the past.
Mm.
Well, it is reassuring to know that it might be possible at least.
I'm a firm believer that even things that some people say are impossible can be achieved if done the right way.
I have already done impossible things.
I think the sept is wake up, do something impossible, continue on with day.
Yeah, pretty much. And now I have still many more things I have to do that seem impossible. And she'll kind of look to Travis. I learned how to make our war paint just a bit ago.
I gotta learn how to do that shit as well.
If you want, I can make you a jar. I can teach you the pattern.
Yeah, it would be amazing actually. I'm always asking from Kotori, and I keep owing him, and I'm unable to pay him stuff because he doesn't take me things to with his pack. He smiles and laughs. Like Kotori isn't really like he's Lupus. I love Kotori, but like I want to pay him my debts, but I can't because whenever go he does stuff where I will be helpful. He just does it all by himself.
Usually what Kotori wants is information for information. To learn
Right.
how to make the Bonars paint, I had to trade him the knowledge of how to make my fire talons.
Kachina smiles.
He's a sneaky one.
She'll quirk her brow over at Kachina. I'll offer you the same thing. Teach me a new talon and I'll teach you mine.
The fire talon, you mean?
The match? Yep.
Yes.
Unless Kotori's already taught you and ruined my chances.
Don't you remember I helped you with that?
Damn it! That's right. Well, at least Michael will teach me something.
Most of my knowledge is for free. I don't need trading for it. If you wish to teach me something or one day I come ask for it, I hope the same applies, but I know there are some things that must be kept close.
Mm-hmm. No, I only know so many talons. I know how to make Gaia's breaths. I know how to make the fire talons. I know 2 types of war paint now.
For this buddy here, I learned how to make an armor charm. Not an easy task.
I still want to learn. Like, can you give me like how many of them you have right now?
2.
Oh God, we need to make more.
It's not so easy. And,
anything that's lasting is a lot bigger, a lot harder. I think the only thing that I can have others help me make until I'm Cleith are the horns. And that should kind of look over at Kachina. That it's just a matter of getting someone to summon the spirit so that I can make my deal, make my chiminage, and then Have someone do the right for me so that I can give them to the kin.
All right, well, I am free most days now. Come to me when I'm in and around the Sept, and when you are ready, at a game when there's an ST, and we shall do it. And Kachina squares up against the little dummy, and he puts one hand in front of him, palm towards himself, and the other hand behind his back, but waist level. And then he slowly bumps his hand against different posts in different positions.
She's gonna quirk her brow and watch. What's he doing?
I don't know. What are you doing, dude?
Basic practice.
Okay.
So like his arm is moving up and down and bumping against the training dummy. Like it has little extensions out of it that are like.
Oh, okay. The one
logs.
for
Yeah.
hardening up your arms.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you bumps it, it moves a little bit. But he's doing pretty slow, just getting used to it.
So, Talia and the Horns and Viana.
The Alan, Renz the Pure, the people who's coming for Cinna, the people of Chino.
What?
We should be finished with Alan before these heal. He looks down at the bandages but doesn't stop doing the motions with his hand.
I tried to get Alan, but he wasn't there. It was a trap. He knew he knew us really well.
Maeve is going to cast Travis kind of a knowing glance, and this time with the sly little impish smile say, maybe next time we bring a more balanced team.
Yeah. The problem with him is I need to kill him.
Lots of
That
people
is-
need to kill him.
It's just, it is tribal matter for Kachina. It is Sept business. But I need to kill him for sleeping more easily at night.
Then take the strongest and get it done. Take all of them, not just the Aruns.
Yeah. I
If
didn't
you
want
take
to-
me, I can find him wherever he is hiding. So he will be there.
But the problem is that might be another trap, and we don't and our problem would be,
Then bring a good ragabash.
yeah, we need to scout that area.
I have spirits that are scouting him right now.
Nice.
Take the ragabash, have them walk ahead of you, have them take point. That's what they
Yes.
do.
That's what's going to happen next time. This time I fear that I might lose Senna if she goes first, because Senna is a curious one. He says it with a smile. It would have been like I didn't want to sacrifice her because I was expecting heavy resistance, and if they just jump on her, there's no way she could have escaped.
Then don't
So-
bring people that you think cannot survive the encounter, or people that you
Yeah.
aren't willing to lose. Don't be distracted.
There's
No.
a certain ability that Alan has that we will have to be careful for even when we do.
What's
What
that?
do you-
He knows the Falcon's grasp.
What's
Wow.
that?
So Gina stops and goes over, and
That's
he
a smell.
holds on to Maev's shoulders. You use the spirit power when you grasp somebody, and it makes it very difficult for the other person to break free.
I will electrocute him if he does that shit.
Well, Kachina can take all his hits. If
I know.
he gets others and has them learn this as well, and if it is a trap, and they hold Kachina down, Kachina will not be able to get away from them. And that is why we go as a pack.
The time we went as a pack again, my only problem right now is There was one time where we look after Rems the Pure all the time, and all of them turned out to be stupid traps. And we all know that he fall because I send him as a sneaky dude. I send him as someone to know about them from because they were posing as Ronin. So he is probably close with them. Maybe he is, maybe he's not, but we will see. That I just, well, you know what I mean. Like we were expecting heavy resistance, really powerful people at that place. At least two Atro.
Like I said, this time, bring everyone. Bring the strongest.
There won't be any
And don't
mistakes.
let yourself make mistakes based on who is strong and who is weak. Trust that they're all strong enough to do their jobs. You'll do better.
He smiles.
You've done bigger things.
You see that he genuinely smiles to her when she says that. And he says the next time we will do it right.
I know you will.
You can give people, what was the name of that thing? Rabbit fruits, if you want to. It will make them more easy because I think we will dodge a lot of stuff at the fight.
I can try. I have been spending time every week with Rabbit. There are many spirits. I have been spending time with a different spirit each day, every week. And the Rabbit is one of them. I think this time it will be easier, and this time I can offer a proper chiminage instead of just my gnosis. And perhaps I can get the same boon for you. Let me know when you're going, and I will appeal to one of the spirits to come to you. I've also spent, well, especially just after Wolf Home, I have paid excessive chiminage to the wolf spirits on Sept.
To do?
I want them to know me. I want them to consider me part of the pack. Perhaps with enough time, perhaps with enough chiminage. When I'm in need, that pack will come for to help me.
This is good thinking for a Thurge.
It seems that the best way to do it is to prepare. I hope so. I hope that I can do what I must. I know that Chases has told me that I will have to recite one of the stories when the time comes. He's only told me maybe one or two. I've had a lot of trouble finding the others. And she'll kind of look pointedly to Travis at that point.
Also, how about we summon spirits to fight with us at that time? You know, Kachina, when we went against the... like we were thinking about going against hunters one time. How about we ask aid from a spirit? Or maybe the unicorn, because he betrayed unicorn to be of the worm.
What is Alan's greatest strength and what is his greatest weakness?
His greatest strength is his ability to hide and trick and manipulate. His greatest weakness is that, once he feels that he is safe, he is overconfident and lacks much skill in the way of combat. Yes.
Let me tell you this.
So, spirits
Alan,
that can hunt him out?
Peanut, the thing about this, Alan was like social as Mikhail, or social as, who would I say this? Social, maybe more social than Sinner. Or you, or he was really charismatic. Everybody was saying he was really charismatic. I wasn't thinking that because I never liked him. He shakes his head. But
And Maeve is, by the way, like, as you speak, she's got a very thoughtful look. She's obviously mulling things over, though she's still listening.
He followed a pack, a totem that made him really good at, how do I say this? He followed the totem, it was a tactical totem. They were using their totem and the things the totem gives really greatly. For example, I know that when they always wanted to fight with things. While they're like when they fight with things that they're smaller, like when the things are really bigger than them, they were more ferocious.
You know, now that I think about it,
Hmm.
hey, Kachina. Dog
Yes.
is a member of Unicorn's brood. Dog
Yes.
represents loyalty. I imagine
Yes.
that Dog is also an exceptional tracker. So when you go, if I am able to contact Dog or you are able to help me do it, I will do like I did last time. I will pay a chiminage to have the spirit aid you.
This sounds doable, but I can tell you right now, he literally closes his eyes and tilts his head, and he points. Alan is there.
We can follow
Yes,
him
maybe
if you
so,
want to.
but still, it is never bad to have the aid. Even those who did not use Rabbit's charms immediately had them on hand. And
Yes.
Winter, the blizzard, was definitely a better aid. I feel like I have grown more into it. I am sure that there is some boon that Dog could give that would punish him for being disloyal and reward us for being loyal. Something that would help us.
Also, the dog. When the dogs can sense the danger, maybe they can help us track the traps, or maybe it can warn us if there's something ahead of us. It can also help our scouts. Dog is an amazing scout, as Matt said. It's an actually amazing choice, Katrina. Dog represents loyalty, and he has betrayed us. That's literally helps with nearly every situation that we need. We have the strength to kill him, but the problem is finding him for his disloyalty. The problem is he is
Yes.
clever for he is hiding with traps. The dogs are
Even if you
trained for this
can
shit.
even if you can point a straight direction to where he is, there may be many things between you and him. There may be chambers you can't find, or know that he is beyond but can't find a way into. Perhaps with Dog's aid, it will make it that much easier.
Also, just because finding him, I don't want to enter a hive
Well,
with a pack
if
that
you are both assured about this, I could summon Dog now.
mm,
I don't want to be too preemptive.
yes, we
AKA,
should.
is there an ST available?
I just messaged Duncan. I'm going to see what he says.
Okay.
Um, we should also prepare a really amazing chiminage, really, really big chiminage. Even the dog is a friendly spirit. He won't ask for really big chiminage, but we should give it a
I
big chiminage.
can try. Dog, or at least the Meat Lord, was very fond of human food, very fond of food in general. And we do have still that cooler full of meat from our hunts with Olaf. I can take another portion of my share, and we can put Gnosis into it.
Like you were thinking about a food, and I was thinking about a fetish. That's
And I
I
was
fine.
work with what I
thinking of
have.
a bone.
Like you
In
guys are right.
fact,
That's
that's
like
actually a really good idea.
I could give
Kachina
him a
says
full
it's like
hunch.
you see wheels turning. If we went to the ancestral spirit lands and got the bone of the large dinosaur beasts that roam there and bring it as chiminage for a dog.
God damn it! I had a T-Rex bone once.
What'd you do
I,
with
I
it?
still have it. I still have it.
Then we can put Gnosis into that.
Yep.
I'd figured a haunch with meat still on it, but if you still have it,
Um,
he
it's,
might appreciate it.
it's still not a like. He actually, like he says, I took a little bit. Like I took its teeth and small bone in my house. It's there. It's right there. It's a small bone, but it's a T-Rex bone.
How often will we get to have that? We can offer more than one item.
Yeah?
You can offer that. I'll go get the deer.
We
I'll
can.
infuse it with all the Gnosis I can spare.
Mhm. We can talk with the Meat Lord. Actually, Meat Lord was really nice, man.
Meat Lord also, at least the last time I saw him, is capable of being more.
What?
I went to the Doves and asked them to bring me someone who could speak for Unicorn, and they brought the Meat Lord. And as we spoke to him, as things became more deep, more complex than he could properly could really speak on, he began to grow and he became more. I believe that he became the totem of dog and spoke to us.
Nice.
So we are looking for at least a totem level spirit.
You don't have to. Any
Well,
spirit.
Kachina shrugs. It is what it needs to be. Travis here is Afro, so
This is
the
true.
spirits will denote him more respect. If I summon it, it might not be as angry if Travis helps.
Also, do you know who loves, like, who Meat Lord loves?
He talked about going back to Leah's kitchen to look for
Yes.
scraps, look for things she had dropped.
If
Yes.
we have Leah there, we totally have that guy. We totally have Meat Lord, and like if you give the T-Rex bone, all of that jazz, and okay, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. You would know that I am Xavier's mentor. I was Xavier's mentor. I know what Xavier did was wrong, but Xavier would give everything he has to kill Alan. And I have Xavier's fetish, his family heirloom.
The thing he
If
had,
we
yes.
summon something big enough, yes, but
Yeah,
don't overpay.
that's like that's something that I keep for like
What
he
was
to
the fetish, if I may ask?
Kopesh, level 3 Silence Rider only fetish.
If it is it something that would appeal to dog?
I don't think so, but this is something that I also try to keep for Cinna's War, because
Do you
that will
know
be. Go on,
what kind
dears,
of
go on.
spirit is inside it?
I think it's War or Snake. Let me check. He told me once. Travis will roll intelligence of academics, and I think he passes. And I'm checking the computer. I'm checking the fetish.
Alright, well, Kachina is good and is willing to summon this if we gather these things for a dog. And then we can meet
Maebh
back
will,
here in an hour.
promptly shift and bob her muzzle and probably trot over to the closest shield to look to her reflection so that she can go and fetch what she's offered to. Trot, 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 trot.
So, are we going dog? Oh, see, are we doing it right now or later?
Right now.
Um,
I just meant like we are going to go gather the things. Time elapses. We come back because Duncan's good to go.
I'm also going to say this, guys, that the Meat Lord is played by Robert, not Duncan.
Well, this is true, but Meat Lord also isn't a totem level level spirit. He had to become something bigger than himself. He lost his Meat Lord traits when he was that big.
Oh, okay.
So we can summon a totem level dog spirit or whatever level dog spirit you want, really.
I'm gonna go for slightly higher than totem. Just saying.
I hate you. Like I hope that it doesn't fuck us over, but yeah, let's do it if we have time. I'm just gonna make more coffee for myself at the same time.
That is a good idea, sir. I'm seriously reconsidering filling mine back up while we do this.
Just a second.
Feel free to give Duncan the link. Or if you want, we can even split it into 2 hangouts if you prefer. Whatever is easier on everyone. In the meantime, while Maeve is going to fetch her chiminage, Katie is going to go fetch some more coffee. So feel free to play some elevator music or something while we all prepare for these shenanigans. I return. Have you shot Duncan the link?
I am Facebook talking to him right now.
Okay. Just if it is faster to just straight up tell him what we're doing, you are welcome to pull him in and we can do that.
Don't worry, Emma-chan. I have all the social dice to cover everything else.
Please don't summon something that my ass can't, handle, because I don't have social to handle totem that well. I don't have a lot of social dice.
I have all the social dice because we'd be talking to dog, so it's an animal. I have all the social dice.
Shall we call it here for the first scene and have it end with everyone preparing and then start another for the actual summoning?
Yes, because apparently no one's available right now.
Oh, is he not?
Yeah. So we'll end the scene here and continue later.
Okay. Well then, I guess with everyone preparing to for this silly rite, we shall say thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. And we will see you next time on the Living World of Darkness Rage Across New York.